And we are live. Yes, we're live. Hello, everyone. It's Adrian, and we are at the AMA session on the AlphaGuilty YouTube channel. Today is 11th of July, and we're talking with Gil about the blockchain center. So we are doing an AMA session. We're diving deeper into the project. You can, guys, as always, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. My name is Adrian, and we will handle all the questions after the stream. Right now, we'll keep it rolling. We'll keep it rolling with some questions. Gil, could you please introduce yourself? Who are you? What you're doing, and tell us a little bit more about the blockchain center overall.
Cool, great. So yeah, my name is Gil. I've been working with crypto and with blockchain technology for close to 10 years. And very recently, I started working, maybe a year and a half ago, I started working with the Blockchain Center Foundation. Now we have a primary spot in New York City, but we actually have a presence as well in Tulum and in Florida and in Las Vegas, California, Dubai, Singapore. We're constantly trying to build these hubs where individuals in the space can get together and run meetups and events and hackathons and workshops and basically network and collaborate together. It is a nonprofit foundation and organization. However, we are actively, of course, trying to get seed money in order to grant to relevant companies and try to build a really strong infrastructure in the space. So yeah, that's about it. It's owned by Nick Spanos, who really is a godfather in the Bitcoin world. Although he's not a maxi, he does care about true decentralization, whatever form it might take. You know, whether it's truly through Bitcoin or through another avenue. And I guess I would agree with him. So that's why we work together.
I got it. And what's your role in the blockchain center?
I run business development. I'm out there trying to get people to collaborate and do these events and workshops and really build together. We tried to get protocols who are, for lack of a better term, in competition, to work together, right? We want two different Oracle protocols to work together to create an even better infrastructure. The same thing with proof of presence and really anything else, any other issue that we're trying to tackle. So that's pretty much it. I am located in New York right now, so I take part in a lot of the activities in our Manhattan branch, and that's on 84th and Broadway in the Upper West Side. But we actually, there are people who are contributing their work all throughout the world, not just me here in New York, although I do also deal with the other locations and building these locations out. We have people in every single location doing their work. A lot of it pro bono, really because they truly care about decentralization, decentralizing our society, and our way of life for the betterment, of course, of humanity at least.
I get it. I'm so sorry. How can I call you correctly? Because
my name is Gil.
Gil. Okay, yeah. Perfect. So I wanted to ask that you said that you're an non-profit organization. So how do you guys exist? Like who sponsors that? Where do you take money to stay alive?
Yeah, it's actually case by case. I mean, throughout the years, there've been many various sponsors. We run events during conference weeks where we collect enough money to keep the place running and to build a foundation reserve, essentially. And our hope is to use that to really incubate projects and young professionals. We're strategically in New York, we're strategically located next to a few schools in the Upper West Side. So we hope to see students that may not have their hands in blockchain technology yet, right? But are talented engineers to come and collaborate with individuals who maybe are a little bit more old school, right? But they're working with the tech. So it's a constant accumulation of.
Hey Gil, you're muted for some reason. You get muted. Yeah.
To people coming in and granting funds for the foundation to run their events there, to run their workshops, their hackathons, collaborate with our many side projects as well.
Mm-hmm. And do you own any equity in the startups, in the products that are being created by the people who are participating in your foundation?
No, not necessarily. There are a few companies that I have invested in specifically. Not all of them have come through the Blockchain Center. You know, many of them I was introduced to by being a user first and a use case and loving the idea. Some of them were pitched to me in conferences, and then some, you know, through the center. But that's actually not. There's no like prerequisite to, hey, we will help you if you give us equity. It's more like we're trying to create a system where anybody can use the space and our contacts, and for them to be responsible for their own commitment or their own sponsorship at the time, whether it's a small amount because they just want to have one event there, or whether it's a long-term partnership where it's a yearly grant to keep the lights open and operations running. So it really is case by case. But to answer your question, yeah, sure. I mean, you know, there are some companies that I met through the Blockchain Center that I'm now invested in, and in some way, you know, own equity.
Yeah, that's what I also, that was my next question. You really answered it already about the investments in, so you're basically being some sort of insider. So you're seeing the startups and seeing this entrepreneurs to start with the Blockchain Center, and you like being located in there and working with the Blockchain Center directly gives you, I guess, some opportunities to see this, like to be the first one who sees everything that's being developed, to see these new ideas, and to be like an early stage, even like maybe an angel investor in something.
I wouldn't say I'm the first one, but it's definitely a forefront. It definitely gives me a lot of perspective. However, I still am constantly doing, you know, my own research. For me, you know, my personal mission isn't really to find those little diamonds in the rough and make, you know, 100x my money. I'm not even that much of a trader anymore. I just hold my crypto. You know, my main mission is to bring together the technology that will truly decentralize us, but not take away our rights in other ways. You know, the internet was supposed to be a promise for humanity, actually, to interact with each other in a way that was never possible before. And it turned into a cash grab for capitalism, I would say, for the most part. And I think my main mission, specifically in working with the Blockchain Center, is actually to create a system or to help direct all of these young entrepreneurs to a common goal of decentralization and the betterment of the human interaction and human freedom, the rights to artists and etc. That's really like the main. So in a way, I am greedy in the sense where I do have the forefront perspective, like you said, but it's not really for being an angel investor. It's more for like trying to whisper in the ear of all these people and really see decentralization happen.
I got it. And I believe you said that you are not that an like OG employee or OG like worker or OG of partner of the blockchain center. So I guess this is the first crypto winter that you are dealing with right now, as a like in company with blockchain center. Yeah.
Yeah. Since I've known the Blockchain Center Foundation, this is truly the first winter, quote unquote. You know, the numbers to me look just fine. I mean, I remember when it was hundreds of dollars. I remember when 3,000 was a good enough number for me. You know, so for me, it's the winter isn't so cold yet. I think that there's just there's the outside factors of humanity post-COVID that left really the entire world kind of shaken and in a winter, so to speak. So it doesn't really bother me. But it's interesting because I haven't seen any less activity in the industry at all since the crypto winter. I mean, people are still very much avidly going out there and doing the work. They're getting together. They're having these workshops and hackathons and building together, networking. Artists are still going out there and trying to prove their worth. It's actually, it seemed very, very positive this crypto winter so far.
Like, you know how they say that the bull market is the time for speculators, while the bear market is time for builders. So maybe you can give us like a little sneak peek of what trends are going on right now. What people are building, which markets you see will open sooner in the crypto space. Like, do you have this at least like approximate statistics?
Well, I think anyone that's working on augmented reality, adding second layers to our current line of vision. I think anybody working with integrating decentralization with actual real life experiences. Okay, anybody working with artificial intelligence and proper data collection and management in the blockchain space, those are definitely people that right now are thriving, because like the focus has been less to like the markets of crypto and altcoins and trading and etc. It's more geared towards the technology, and blockchain being not just some money you can send or like a random NFT, but it can be much more, and people could do much more things with it. There's a company, Justifier, for instance. They have a black box that you can put on your firearm, and the moment you use your firearm, everything is recorded. The vibrations, the vision, the sound, everything. But that data gets sent to the user's wallet, and that data is actually yours. You own the data, and you can share it to whomever and use it, as you wish. You can't tamper with it, etc. And I know another company, Illust Space. They successfully geocached basically the entire world. Just like Pokemon Go, you can find NFTs in real life. You go out, you walk around, you find NFTs that artists just put, just like graffiti, and you can even proof of presence your experience. Nick Spanos, he worked on a Vote Watcher. We were in CPAC before. You can actually NFT your voting. You can literally prove that you voted through an NFT and a POAP. These are the types of things that outlive the winter.
Yeah, because we are, at AlphaGuilty, we always have people who are not just, interested in some informational stuff in terms of like what someone is doing, but also what do I need to do, where do I need to point my attention to? So that was very important that you explained us what, in your perspective, you think will blow up and what is or maybe the next wave in crypto. Tell us please a little bit more about the team behind the blockchain center. So what's the management, what they do, like what's their background?
Well, I think they could really speak to their background themselves. I mean, Nick Spanos has been an OG in the crypto world for very, very long, ever since I knew about crypto, and that was rather late. It was like 2013 already. He was very, very much into the space. I know we have Anna, and she's like really, really, really strong in the networking space in New York City. So she was able to really get a lot of people into our doors and really help manifest everything. We have Kelvin, and he has done project management for, I think, also over a decade. He's worked with Nick for a very long time. He's able to literally macro manage all these different locations and coordinate with all the people that are running it. not really running it, working with it, getting the events, making sure the place is cleaned up afterwards, that there's social media presence and etc. Everything else is just volunteers for every single conference week. There's new people coming, working with the blockchain center, helping make things happen. And then, there's a next wave. And I think that's the beauty. I think that's the beauty of it being a nonprofit and it really being a foundation, is that people come and they really, they dedicate their time.
Yeah, right now, it's so much different to work on the partnership ground when the market has fallen. So everyone is different. It's not as it was like half a year ago. It's not how it was half a year ago when people were everyone was saying that he has enough money and he isn't interested in sharing his community. So right now it's more of like win-win. Everyone's looking on how to partner, who to partner with, and how to find this value in the market. I wanted to ask you to maybe bring us some more clarity on who are you partnered with. So the Blockchain Center has a few partners mentioned on the website. I guess there are some more on the background. So maybe you can tell us, like, what do you look at before, like when you're partnering? Are you looking whether you have like the same mentality with the project that you are getting in bed with? Like, how does that work from your side?
Well, we have a few partners that really helped actually propel our growth in the beginning, because none of our own money was necessarily put into it except for Nick's bonuses. But we have Zap Protocol. They really helped in the very beginning. A lot of our hackathons have been with Zap Protocol. We had Mad Oath very recently, and that's like a gaming company. They came in, they did like a hackathon. We called it a dev jam, actually, because that's more of what it was. It's a really, really fun experience. Now is the week leading up to NFT NYC. And they punched away, created a marketplace in like 4 or 5 days or something. You know what I mean? So it was really, really cool to see. And we had obviously different developers coming in for that. Super Moon Camp, they've been a great sponsor. They've done a lot of events with us. Every time we go to conferences, we all go together. You should definitely check them out if you ever go to do networking and conferences. Super Moon Camp, they're really cool. And then we also have Cryptos. This is a new exchange that's opening up. It's completely decentralized order book. That's also going to be dedicating a lot of time and a lot of money into the blockchain center and seeing it grow. But it's like a never-ending. We want to be located worldwide wherever there's a dense population of industry professionals, and have a decentralized hub. So it's constant work, of course. It never really ends with just one small partnership for one location. To answer your question, we definitely look at what people are doing, right, before we partner up with them. But that's very, very easy, because we were able to actually meet these people. We've never done a partnership with somebody who just messaged us out of the blue. You know what I mean? These are all people that we meet, and we see what's under the hood and what we're working on to see if there's a common goal.
I got it. And do you have something interesting to share in terms of the plans of the blockchain center for the next 6 to 12 months? Do you maybe plan some events or some hackathons? What activity will be there?
Specifically, not until next year's conferences do we have anything booked. Right now, we are in the process of booking whoever is interested in having a hackathon in our New York City location specifically. That's the best one geared, I would say, to events of that nature. Most of what we're doing in the next 6 months is with some of our side projects. Like I said, with Cryptos, we're trying to really launch and make everything look nice and work out. And yeah, we're always looking for people to come to us and use our space because it's already there. You know, we've had people come in and just use the space as a WeWork scenario as well. So.
Okay, got it. And why did you choose AlphaGuilty to work together? So how do you see this collaboration going? And tell us a little bit more on your thoughts, on your perspective on this.
What I like about the Launchpad, it seems to have that same common thread of like, okay, this is like an organized place for people to find projects and do their own research with, right? But at least they have that like that platform where they can actually see what they're doing. When I saw that, then I knew, okay, there's something that makes sense here. Because a lot of people in the Upper West Side, they'll come in, they don't know anything about crypto or blockchain. They'll come in and be like, hey, excuse me, what's happening with Bitcoin right now? You know, or somebody will come in and just out of no context be like, hey, what should I invest in? You know, like what's the next thing that I should like do? And it's hard to answer these questions because, you know, we're not financial advisors, and there's no real way to tell the future to see what will work, what type of infrastructure in that specific company or protocol can really support their vision or not, or if it's just a dream. You know, these things only time can tell, and like a constant like research. So I had thoughts about this, like, you know, in my mind, this launch pad where you
Gil, I believe we lost you. If you hear us, then please give us some signals that you're with us. I will ping Gil right now on the Telegram messenger. So how many people we are? We are right now at 35K. Well, 35,000 people joining the live stream. That's huge, guys. Don't forget to send the questions while we're waiting for Gil to rejoin the AMA session. Feel free to send your questions to the chat. We'll have a couple of more questions, and then we'll hop to the questions from you guys. I will start reading them right now to pick the best ones and the most interesting ones. And yeah, guys, so we'll have the new video coming out on the AlphaGuilty YouTube channel today or tomorrow. I told about the Web3. There's an educational/entertainment video on that. So Web3 is wider than you think. Please, guys, as I said in the video, we are guilty in finding the alpha, and you guys are guilty in not being subscribed. So please subscribe to this channel as soon as possible, because you see we are doing like right now at the moment like occasional content. We do not have it like every single day, but we're working on it. We're working on the quality of the content. First of all, we're working on to presenting you the best projects there are. It's not, you know, we're doing these AMA sessions with the people and with the project that we really love and we would really love to share with our community. So please subscribe if you are here for the quality content, plus the videos by me about different topics in crypto. They're also in here every 1 or 2 weeks. We're publishing, we're doing some educational stuff, we're doing some entertainment stuff. So yeah, don't forget about it. Don't forget about it. And we're still waiting for Gil to join. Yeah, what do I tell you guys? 40,000 people just sitting and and watching me waiting. That's perfect. Right now, I will read the supportive comments, you know, guys, in order to entertain myself a little bit and you guys. Looking forward for the success of this project. Keep it up. It's, you know, I've seen this type of messages earlier, much more often than I do it right now. So in autumn 2021, when NFTs were there was a second wave of NFT boom, and people were loving and saying it's amazing to everything that was happening on the market, and it was such such a positive environment where you could like send your NFT project link to anyone basically on Instagram, on YouTube, on any influencer. He said, "Wow, man, that's an amazing project. I would love to work with you." So right now, it's not it's not that often to happen. So I've got the calls, I've got everything happening right while the live stream's going. And we have Gil joining us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. We lost you for a couple of minutes.
Yes. Sorry about that. My phone actually died. I'm on the run right now. Getting to a meeting right now with a company who does loans and mortgages. They're basically a direct lender in New York, and they want to start working with blockchain technology. They want to start introducing loans for and also for investors in the blockchain industry. So it's just another contact that I made through the blockchain center, where we have an opportunity to actually introduce maybe a new type of lending to those who happen to have crypto, but they have no idea that they can get a loan against it. Because only somebody who's like very avidly researching the space knows that. But if you're, I don't know, a 60-year-old that your son just told you to buy some Bitcoin, but you don't know anything about it, you have no idea that you can actually get a loan against it, if need be, instead of selling it. But yeah, please, where were we?
Yeah, we were talking with you about the AlphaGuilty partnership. You were talking about the collaboration.
Yeah, so I envisioned this this launch pad where one can see, almost like seeds, one can see new companies, new protocols, new projects opening up in the space, where you can essentially fund, right, or donate or grant or invest in. And in that same launch pad, you can see your portfolio grow with constant news streams, constant reports of revenue or of expenses, of presence on social media, etc., on a regular basis. So you can, in one spot, basically have a feed of your seeds that are growing. And that's what I envisioned when we first spoke, essentially, and that's still the idea that's in my mind. So I definitely like what you guys are doing. I like the idea of it. I hope that what comes to fruition is what I imagine.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for your words as well, man. And I've got one more question before we hop into the chat.
Sure.
And answer some questions from the listeners. So can you give some advice for new founders in the Web3 industry, in the blockchain? Just something valuable.
My advice is build around true utility, like what people really truly need and want and crave. That's also important, before thinking about the end game when it comes to making money. I would say, like, if I would recommend anybody who's trying to raise funds right now, the only thing that should be on that fundraising, it's not marketing, not networking, leave the conferences, just join them online, do it for cheap and listen to them speak. Don't focus on developing and building. Get the people that you're able to pay them well to really build for humanity, and the money will follow, almost always. That's the only advice that I can give.
Yeah, that man, that's great advice. I would say like kind of obvious to me because right now on the market when Goblin Town has so many traction and intention, building something around utility, being the spoiler about it, it has to be something that, well, it's understandable how to do it. Yeah, so being a builder on this market, and me personally, I'm also doing a lot of partnership calls from the AlphaGuilty and from a bunch of different projects that I work with. And I see like how much people are right now trying just to bring the utility just for having the word. Utility, we do have a utility. So yeah, on this market, you need to be true with yourself, whether you are a speculative type of project, type of asset, or you are trying to bring some value, some utility, but this will be like a different type of game when you play it, when you try to build a community and stuff. So let's now, I offer to get into the chat. We have a bunch of questions in here. We have a lot of compliments to you about the project, how great it is, how interesting it is, and how everyone is looking forward to your success. But I guess it's kind of funny because like I would say that you are guys already pretty successful. So looking forward for, I guess, more success has to be better to be written. So one of the questions from the chat is, are you guys alone on the market, or are there any organizations like you who you are competing with, maybe in some form?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are you guys alone on the market, or there are any other similar organizations who you are sort of competing with?
There are other organizations, not that we're like working with specifically, because we have enough on our plate right now in regards to incubators, on our own infrastructure and really perfecting it. But I know there are many organizations out there who act as an incubator and have maybe not worldwide locations, but one location. I can't think of the names right now because I did this research like a year ago, and I kind of like just put all my focus on Blockchain Center Foundation. But I know in Europe there's many organizations, and their sole purpose is for people to come together and network and build and etc. I know that in New York City, even though there's a bit license and it kind of makes it difficult for people to truly explore the options with the blockchain space, there are a lot of people doing meetups and events all the time. Many different DAOs. I mean, my Telegram is packed with various groups, and it's a very, very rich space. Blockchain Center Foundation is just a little bit different because we have an old school infrastructure, but we're trying to cater to the needs of the new school, so. I hope that
got you. Yeah. And do you plan to do any of your own blockchain products, like maybe like a token or an NFT, either for fun of community or for some utility inside the foundation?
No, because I'm not a developer. I don't even know how to build a website, without the help of others. My main talent is that of talent acquisition and business development, in the sense of creating partnerships and putting the pieces together for something to succeed. I have a good eye for it, but I myself don't develop, so I wouldn't want to even tackle my own idea or protocol, and then hire people to do something that I don't fully understand to check myself. You understand what I mean? I'd prefer to just have a very open mind and see what's out there and see what people are building and connect them with others that could use what they're building to create something even better. And that's how I go about things specifically.
Thank you. Does Blockchain Center Foundation have any milestone that you're trying to achieve in future? So maybe some number or something that's measurable.
With a number of locations, yes. I personally would like to see a new location opened up at least every 6 months. And that's my personal mission. Blockchain Center, it's not a board or even a DAO where we vote on things. There's the owner of the organization, Expanos, okay, and when somebody has an idea, they need to go and do it. Everything's open on the table, but you need to go do it. And that's the way I see. So my goal is to have a new location open up in a different hub, in a different area where there's at least some population or density of industry professionals to have a blockchain center. And I would say that's really the only milestone right now. I'm hoping that people will see what's happening and see what we're doing and give us grants and give us sponsorships so we can make all of this happen. But it's case by case scenario at the moment.
I got you. And the last question is, I would say, very typical for the community of the Launchpad. So what do you think about the NFTs? Is this market dead, or how do you see its future?
NFTs are not dead. The current use of NFTs up in the last year, let's just say, may be dead. I don't think there's too much room for profile picture collections, to hold long term. Although I do believe in the PFP projects that already are to maintain value over time, just like with any art and any media. We're in the genesis period right now. So whatever was significant now and important now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, 300 years from now will be very worthwhile because it was significant and relevant. And again, that's not a guarantee, but that's my sentiment specifically. So there are a lot of things happening in the NFT world right now that have nothing to do with collectibles. They have to do with expression, expression and interaction and livelihood. These are the types of things that they're far from dead. They're just beginning. People don't even know what I'm talking about yet, right? But it's but some people do. That's why I'm saying artificial intelligence and artificial reality and having a second layer onto what we're already living in. That's going, in my opinion, that's going to be the game changer for the metaverse that everyone's talking about or thinking about, referencing to.
Got it. Thank you, man, so much. Thank you for your responses. Thank you for joining the AMA session. And you guys, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for being active in the chat. Thank you for asking so many questions and for so many compliments. We didn't receive as many for a long time, for a while. So please subscribe to the AlphaGuilty YouTube channel. Please check out the Blockchain Center Foundation's website. Please feel free to subscribe to their socials not to miss any of the events that will be hosted. And yeah, just believe in Web3 markets, and the Web3 market will believe in you. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Gil, and bye-bye everyone. See you next time.
Thank you.